Hi everyone, with us today is Melody He, a co-founder of Spartan Group, who is in charge of the group's advisory business.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
The first question, in a nutshell, could you explain what exactly Spartan Group is doing and what its mission is?
Sure, yeah. So we were founded in 2017, and our single mission is really to work and help with the best founders building crypto. So we're very crypto native, and we're crypto only financial group. We cover 3 different areas. We have asset management, also known as a fund. We're an investor. So we have different strategies, both on the venture side. We focus on DeFi. We're investor in Lynch as well. We also just launched a fund invest into metaverse and NFT. We also have a hedge fund. So 3 funds for different types of founders and investments and projects. On the advisory side, we do mission critical capital transactions, including M&A transactions. We love working with founders who need a strategic, whether it's financial capital raise or whether it's an M&A like a sell side. Sometimes we do buy side. On the advisory side, we typically work with much later stage companies, and we target transactions, from 100 million to 500 million. Sometimes even bigger, as crypto has moved to become a much more mature industry. And we also do really early stage and seed stage deals. And actually, we have moved from purely investment to incubating and also building products, because we see there are Web2 founders, Web2 operators, who are very interested in building in Web3, but the transition and learning experience has been quite difficult, to be honest, right, from Web2 to Web3. And if we can, as an investor and advisor, help them, bring that time from like 6 weeks to 1 week or 6 months to 1 month, we can add a lot of value here, and we can work with them on token economics, on Web3 use cases and partnerships, and help them launch the project. I have identified a lot of things we can build ourselves. So from just passive investing and advising, we're actually becoming entrepreneurs ourselves in the Web3 space. So that's not really a nutshell, but it's a full explanation.
Yeah. On the advisory side, has the profile of companies you advise changed lately?
Yes, absolutely. When we started in 2017, back in the days, a lot of the projects are start with a white paper, and they barely had a MVP. We would help them organize, design a token or improve the token economics and raise, and then the stage of the company is very much like stay Series A and before, and the amount is much smaller. And then we went through a period of layer 1 protocols, and then we went through a period of DeFi and DAO, and now we're also looking at, for example, we're actually doing a SPAC right now, which is a much bigger valuation than when we started out in 5 years ago. So massive change, and we're seeing a lot of interest from traditional finance as well as internet enterprises, so we call the Web2 companies. It's a huge change and improvement in terms of awareness and acceptance in the space. So I really have felt just in the last year like crypto has crossed the chasm if we want to use the Silicon Valley way of saying adoption, and that's very evident in the type of companies we work with.
You said quite a bit of companies are doing Web3. Could you give your vision of Web3? How do you think it is going to develop, and what can we expect over the next months or up to a year's time?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess Web3 is like the new buzzword. I think even a year ago we still used crypto. I think we are still really, really early in building this space. A lot of infrastructure hasn't really been built. You know, we do have the layer ones, quite a few of the layer ones being built, and they're still being tested, and they're still sometimes go down, right? They still have scalability issues, but they're usable. And they're usable, and there have been applications built on them have gained massive mainstream traction. I think that had really tickled people's imagination, what we can build on this when the infrastructure can be fully, up to standard. So, I think we're building applications as well as the same time, improving the infrastructure. So I think we're seeing a lot of continued building. I think in the last few years we had a lot of innovation in DeFi, and NFT really has becoming a social, like a globally, socially acknowledged phenomenon. I haven't seen really like another big new trend coming out yet, but just these two and these two's combination is already creating a lot of interesting new business cases and opportunities. And we're seeing in entrepreneurs building and experimenting with this within these two areas. Mm-hmm. A lot of experiments in DAO, which are seeing really changing how social and communities are built, and changing the business models of brands, of culture, of music. I think that's that area. There are requirements of technology and product, but it's not as hard as building layer ones, right? So you're seeing there's a lot more and faster experiments and products launching in that space. So we're really excited to seeing like new business models being built and really cool products launch. Another trend I'm seeing is really the Web2 companies with hundreds of millions of users, maybe, that's on a really big scale, but maybe millions of users or tens of millions of users. They have not had innovation in business models, and they have seen how Web3 has been using crypto to grow a community and monetize and give more value to their users so they can increase the monetization. So they're trying to move, we're seeing a big trend of these kind of companies trying to move and adopt Web3 tools. So I think that's something I'm really, really excited about, because that's really bring the best of Web2 in terms of user experience and the user base and the data, and use Web3 token economics, and how they build communities, how they distribute economics, and onboard really the next billion Web3 users. It's very exciting.
Now I have a more general question. The world's economy is in a very uncertain state right now because of the war in Ukraine and because of other factors. What do you think could the role of crypto be under these circumstances? Are there new opportunities for the crypto space?
Yeah, the first thing we saw is, of course, the change of the payment system in the world. We are all aware that Russia as a country it's being cut out, right, from the world economy, and the people there don't have bank accounts, and their currency and their savings are being wiped out. And I had some friends in Russia text me. It's like, oh, I'm so happy that I moved my money into crypto a few years ago. And you're like, oh, that's great for them. So I think people are understanding that this international permissionless currency is really a safe haven for them. So that's proven in this extreme circumstance. And that's on the money side, and on the talent and on the people side, you're seeing all this talent from Ukraine and from Russia leaving and moving to the rest of the world, and they're actually really embracing crypto because they are fully aware the benefit of crypto. Maybe before they weren't as bought in, because they are in some of the best. Ukraine and Russia produce some of the best talents, right, in the space, and now they are fully immersed in this problem and challenge. And I think they're probably very committed to solving that for themselves and for the rest of the world. So I'm really excited to see more exciting Russian teams and entrepreneurs building in this space. And yeah. What
is your take on anonymity in crypto? Because opinions differ. Some are saying that it's not a good thing for users to remain anonymous because they could do nefarious or criminal activities, but others argue that it's people living in oppressive regimes. For those people, anonymity is vital. What is your take on that?
I think you need both. I think there are use cases, anonymity will be very, very important, and we should make sure there are products serve that use case and serve that people who need to have the product to survive, to live, to escape that kind of, what would you call that? Control, I guess, unwanted control maybe. But if you do want to enter the mainstream economy, the mainstream world economy, it is important to have that accountability, that on-ramp into the global network of banking systems and commerce and all of that. We still do have to comply with law. So I think both will exist and both have a purpose to serve and for different use cases, right? We just have to choose.
Now, I would like to ask you about issues that the crypto space is facing, like, for instance, scalability has been quite an issue for a while. What is the current state? How close are we to solving this issue?
We're definitely moving forward. We have seen a lot of new solutions came out the last 12 months, right? You have new layer ones. We worked very closely with Solana team, right? We saw how they have proven that they can build a very performant and quite stable layer one blockchain, and then they have been able to support applications that bring massive volumes of transactions on chain. And we also have seen a lot of layer 2 building on Ethereum, of course, and the maturity of the ZK technology, which will be applied to pretty much all the other layer 1s as well. So again, I think we've made a lot of progress on scalability, and I think we no longer see scalability as an issue to build an application is not usable. There's just so many choices right now, right? If you are a founder who want to build something that is, pretty fast and it can meet mainstream consumers' user experience demand, there's a ton of choices. Yeah.
There is another issue. Interchain communication.
Yeah.
At what stage are we now in terms of having efficient interchain communication?
Interchain communication has been still being solved. Like, there are still a lot of security issues, centralization issues, out of the existing bridges that we're seeing. But there are a lot of new solutions coming out, and one of our portfolio companies is Layer 0, and they already launched interoperability between all the EVM chains, and they're also adding chains like Luna and Solana. So we're looking forward to have solutions like that very soon.
What do you think about the prospects of DAOs? Can DAOs be a viable model outside the crypto space, like can it be applied in a broader context as a model for running organizations?
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of DAOs, and I think DAOs, there are so many DAOs that are doing so many exciting new things. Every day I hear about one or two new DAOs and how they're trying to push the boundaries of how to engage with the communities, how to distribute profits, and how to make it legal, and in the global, international context. I think there's a lot of fundamental works that are being done right now, not just on the tech, on the tools, but also on the legal framework, even tax framework, right? How do you accommodate a DAO that consists of people from 100 different countries? It's not a very simple logistic issue to solve. And in terms of using that as a tool to build a strong community, and then build a big group of stakeholders, and then continue to create products that are exciting and interesting for your community. We're actually in the Spartan Labs, we're building a few DAOs with very specific use case. I was just spending a day today with one of the founders of Pleaser DAO, and they're doing something really cool in music and in art. And they have 12 full-time people dedicated to creating tools for DAOs and serving their members. And now I think DAO has really become a unit of economy that if they can create enough value for their members, they can hire a professional team to provide more services and create more products, right, for these members and continue to grow. I mean, I think the Bored Ape, that's probably one of the most successful project that it's now becoming more and more like a DAO. Of course, it's still very centralized, right? Mm-hmm. But eventually, hopefully, with the Ape token, ApeCoin issuance and usage, it'll become more like a truly decentralized organization.
Could you share your thoughts on crypto regulation?
Right.
How efficient is it? What could be probably done to improve it?
Yeah. I'm not an expert in this. I can only talk about it as an investor, as an entrepreneur, and it's from my point of view, is a lot more frustration than I feel like there's a lack of progress in the past 5 years in this space. We live in Singapore and we're in Dubai. We're in two of the world's, more friendly jurisdictions for crypto, and I really hope that regulators who are more entrepreneurial and more welcome to talents will engage with the industry and really spend time understanding it. But I think on one hand, they really want to protect the users, and sometimes the crypto companies cannot help themselves to really kick up the messaging, on the products they build. And, you have the really cool innovation, right, of NFT and DeFi, but you also have the very high leverage, trading activities that historically or traditionally are regulated, but they're not regulated in crypto. That brings a lot of concerns for regulators, and there's just a lot of speculative behavior still, right, in the crypto users and the crypto community right now. So I think we have to work together, right, with regulators. Mm-hmm. But we've definitely been moving very slow. But I think Dubai, at least from what I can hear from my fellow entrepreneurs, is right now probably the most friendly crypto jurisdiction. So I'm very happy to see that here. The community is really, really thriving here.
And my final question is about crypto adoption in general. Are we still waiting for a killer app, or maybe there isn't such thing as a killer app for the crypto industry? Maybe we are looking at a different adoption model. What are your thoughts on that?
Killer app. I don't know. Like, I think Bitcoin is a killer app. I think it's a very, very useful product that came out of the crypto industry. But, you know, just that alone, I think, is already amazing. And I think all the other products like DAOs or NFTs and even DeFi, I think they're all amazing products. So I'm not sure what you want as a killer app. I think they're all transformative and revolutionary products that can change, profoundly change so many industries in our lives. Yeah, and starting with Bitcoin. So I think we already have a lot of killer apps of crypto.
But in terms of crypto adoption, do you think it is slow, or is it about right? Or maybe is there anything that could be done to speed it up?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely making the on-ramp easier. I believe most of the users, the next billion or the 2 billion, they will earn first and try it, and then they will buy crypto. So how do you make it easier for them to earn a meaningful amount of crypto, for them to get excited and start transferring money, right? I remember, like, I keep telling people this story. I live in China. I used to live in China, and I have WeChat. And back in 2012, 2013, or maybe later, WeChat launched WeChat Pay as a competition or competitive product to Alipay. But nobody was using WeChat Pay because, you know, it was a chat app, it's a WhatsApp. So what WeChat Pay did was during one Chinese New Year, they did this red packet drops. So anyone who get this red packets, if they want to take it out, they have to connect their bank account. But they don't need to when people are just sending them red packets, right? So then all of a sudden you have these like tens of millions of people who received the red packets. They really want to cash it out, and they couldn't. And they're like, okay, in order not to lose my money, I'm going to connect my wallet. So I think crypto will very much be that. It's a very easy on-ramp to earn your crypto, and then you try it, you like it, how easy it is and how fun it is, and then you start to get it more involved. So I think we're going to see a lot of these really interesting kind of earning crypto apps. We're working on one, actually. I'm very excited about it. It's called Sweatcoin. It's to walk and earn. And they already have millions of monthly active users, and they're just going to turn the centralized coin right now to a decentralized token. Yeah, we're super excited for them to launch their token soon.
Thank you for talking to us, Melody.